So you're saying that real estate is basically a very important asset or something that everyone should have. So everyone should.
Well, everybody. I mean, most people that are listening to this video don't sleep underneath the bridge. You know, they all are living underneath the roof. So it's in their life. It's just that some people are actually slaves to their apartment or their home, because I guarantee you that 2 weeks to almost all 4 weeks of a month, they're paying for the roof over their head. And if that's not slavery, then you tell me what is. You know what I mean? I have some of my tenants, they say, man, I have to work all 4 weeks just to pay you rent. You know, they're a slave to the apartment that I give them. And some people, if not 4 weeks, at least 2 weeks. So half the time that you work for, you're working for the roof over your head. Just imagine if you could actually live for free and you could save that money. Well, that's great. I can go party more. I can go do this more. You know what I mean? See, that's the problem. They don't even know how to make a dollar into $2, you know? Matter of fact, there's a trick called the penny trick. And it just says, so if you can just save up 1 penny, which most people can, but the bottom line is, do you know how to make that penny now turn into 2 pennies? And if you could learn how to make a penny turn into 2 pennies in 1 day, in 30 days, it's over $1 million. You know, and a lot of people don't understand that. And that's all I've done, except I didn't do it with the pennies. I did it with real estate. And what I've learned with the real estate math is I learned that I can go buy a property, and I bought my very first house, was a house I bought, and my payment was $198. And I knew I could rent it out for $600. So now I'm making 3 times. I'm not doubling, I'm making triple, but in 30 days, not in 1 day. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I made a profit of $400 a month. And I was like, wow, I'm a young kid, $400 a month, that's great. I just need to do that 10 more times. I did it 10 more times. Now that's $4,000 a month. That's pretty good. I said, I got to do it 100 times. So by the age of 27, I did it 100 times. Now I'm bringing in 40 grand a month. But there's also a lot of headaches, a lot of work, a lot of taxation, a lot of stuff. But the bottom line is, I wouldn't change it for a thing. I mean, I'm so glad that I chose real estate. I'm so glad that real estate has been very good to me. And I probably make it seems a lot easier than what it really is. But it's really not that hard either, you know. But I knew I had to do it. You know what I mean? I remember as a young boy, growing up, my dad said, you know, what you gonna do in this and that? I said, Dad, I want to do this real estate game. He goes, what do you want to do that game for? Because I want to break the cycle. You know what I mean? I want to break the cycle. You know, I was like, Dad, well, how come you're not rich? You know what I mean? Or how come my grandfather's not rich? How come we're not one of the 100 richest families in the world? All of a sudden, it's not that easy. I'm like, well, I'm going to go see how, you know, I'm a young kid. I didn't know any better. I'm going to go try to do it, you know, and I did pretty well. I was reaching for the moon, but I ended up going to the stars. I still did well, but not as well as I would like to have done. But I did very, very well, and I'm very comfortable. And I feel like I'm very blessed because now, you know, my children and grandchildren won't have to worry about things that my past generations had to worry about, you know, hopefully. But the other trick is, you know, once sometimes you give them a lot of money to somebody, then they don't know what to do with it, you know. So am I glad that, you know, what I would have wished I would have been born into money? Who wouldn't have been? But now that I have it and understand it more, now I start realizing, you know, I'm so glad I just made it on my own. But you know, there's a lot of people that's the same way, but I have a lot of friends still back at Home Depot, but they've never learned the tricks and the ideas of how to get out of there. And they're still there 30 years later, you know. And what I try to do is I try to educate people and show people, look, you know, there is another way. You don't have to stay at your job. Matter of fact, jobs don't cut it. They're just over broke, just out begging for time off, you know, and raises, you know. And if you just learn about real estate and you apply it and you let me help you, you know, because if I've done it, you can do it. I'm helping you do it. You know what I mean? So how hard could this be? You know? And yeah, it's a little risky, but you have to get strong and get ready, because if you're not ready and you're not prepared, you're not going to be successful. You know what I mean? And so I'm not going to go and give somebody or help somebody, you know, do this game and tell them, oh, you're ready, when you're not ready. You really need to be prepared. And that's why coming into a training center and getting trained to be prepared and following instructions and learning all the things you need to do it. Because people say, oh, I want to buy property. Okay, really? You know how to change a lock? No. You know how to fix a toilet? No. You know how to do an eviction? No. Well, those are things you're going to need to do. Oh, I can hire somebody. Great. Then you can make him rich. You want to make him rich or make you rich? Oh, I can fix this property up. I'll hire a contractor. Great. The contractor's going to make all the money, not you. You've got to learn these things so you can cut costs, you know, so you can make a profit, you know. And sometimes then you start learning about all these different things. Then you start, like now, I now know how to do everything. But now I'm like, less is best. So now I just go for the meat. I'm just burning and turning because that's where it's at, you know. But I'm so glad I learned all the basics. And when I'm ready to do other things, because you just can't, burning and turning is not always going to be there. You know, and sometimes, like right now, I just bought some properties. I bought some big buildings, beautiful buildings, worth millions of dollars for like 20 grand and 50 grand. You know, yeah, I could probably sell them. Like I bought some lots for 40 grand. You know, I bought some lots for 40 grand, sold them, made 40 grand in one day. Big mistake. Today I would have made over $2 million. You know what I mean? My office, if I bought my office for 135, if I would have sold it, I could have sold it and made 30 grand in one day. That's pretty good in one day. But that would have been a huge mistake. Today it's worth $3 million. You know what I mean? So these are the type of things that you know, if you know the basics that you can hold on and maintain through the bad times, you'll prosper through it. And that's why you have to become strong, because that's important to you know, real estate is like having a baby. And if you don't know how to take care of it, it's not going to take care of you. And there's a lot to learn to take care of these properties and to know how to deal with tenants and deal with the building and all the other things that come with it.